Well, hello, Apple Bites. It's time to wham! Look at this beautiful wham stand. We're getting the whole thing ready to go. Remember, all you got to do is nominate your favorite podcast, and they get a chance to win one of these beauties. Look at that thing. It's just beautiful. And of course, they get their own whamblum as part of the whole little exchange. And your folks are probably going, what the hell is a whamblum? Well, you see, I can change the logo on it just like that, and it becomes a multiple of different things. And of course, you got different bits and pieces that Whamstand has. This is just the one we're going to give away to your favorite podcaster as we do the whole nominations and thing. You can do that in this video as well as any other video that you see talking about this beautiful contest. Of course, I will be doing a special video that I'll be putting on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you can put all that stuff on there as well. Don't worry about it. I'll do my research. If you put it into our comments, I'll get it. But I want you to make sure that you put it into those videos specifically, or any video like this where we're actually talking about it, because it makes life a little easier.
Sounds like you need a social media assistant, Raphael.
Exactly. I do need a social media assistant. Oh my God. I love this thing. I love the fact that we can change it. And just in case you guys are wondering, here's another beautiful little thing. And of course, I'll show it off with my heavy book, which it still holds up.
That's cool. That is very cool.
Yeah. You can show off your book. You can show off your book at a convention. You can show off your book here at the house. It's a good way to show off your stuff. Check out Whamstand. It has a lot of great stuff.
I'm definitely going to get a couple because I'm doing shows and I've got these demos for my education project, so I think it'd be cool to have that and just stand the books up as opposed to leaving them on the table. That's cool.
I gotta say, I think that's one of my favorite things about it is the fact that you can actually get your books off the table, because when you're at a convention, one of the things that happens is that all your books are laying flat, and you can't really show them off. This actually defeats that thing, gets it out of the way, because you have all these beautiful things that you can get from Whamstand, that just show it off, as many whamblums as possible. They
got displays for slabs too. That's really cool.
Yep. He does everything, man. and it's look. These are cards. You can show off your cards.
That's really awesome. I don't want to put you in a spot, but do you know how long it takes to produce these by chance?
I don't think it takes them that long. I think as long as you get the order in, probably a week or two.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I've got a show in late October, so that'd be cool. I'm gonna place an order this week. See, between Kickstarter and like these vendors, you're just draining me dry, Raphael.
I also know that if you want, you can hit him up and talk to him and work something out, because he's a great guy, and if he can get it to you as fast as possible, he'll get it to you as fast as possible.
Yeah, this stuff is great. It looks it's very sharp. I mean, I like the colors. It really pops to that. A lot of times you see the stuff and, the artwork looks flat, but, even just looking at the magnets that are on that board there, they all pop off. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about it is how much it stands out, especially like his Whamstand. This thing looks fantastic. His logo, look at that. It feels like I should be on in a Batman and Robin show here. And you can make these things different colors. You can tell them what you want. Look, this thing pops by itself. The red. I'm guessing he got me this one because it's bitten apple red. See?
Yeah. It's all your branded colors. It's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the bitten apple on it, it just turns into a whole other thing. Yeah, it feels like you're taking a bite out of the apple.
There you go.
Fast you can just switch it over.
Not only are you getting the branded colors down, but now you get the tagline as well. You're just a marketing maven.
Come on, folks, take a bite out of the apple. Get some wham in your stand. Dude, I really like what he does. It's one of the and it's so funny because when you go to the conventions, you see his stuff all over the place now.
That's cool.
Yeah. You can see like a lot of different people who have it. I already know that at New York Comic Con, there's going to be so many people that we can check out and talk to who will have all his beautiful stuff. And we are getting ready to go to New York Comic Con, and of course, all this giveaway stuff is getting us ready for our 10th anniversary. That's right, folks, 10th anniversary. We've been doing this for 10 years, coming this October. And it all happened 1 year after a New York Comic Con where we were sitting there going, you know what, we could do this ourselves. And boy, that's what we did.
Yeah, you probably should pull that. Yeah, you definitely need a social media coordinator because you should pull together a calendar because you've got the contest, right?
Right.
You're going to have a Halloween episode, right?
Yep.
And then in November, you got something else going on too, right? Is it Christmas?
Well, October's
Or
busy
holiday?
as heck. October's really busy. What we do, we got New York Comic Con. We have Urban Action Showcase, which we are the official press for. So you know, it's a lot of stuff that's coming up, and of course, October is always our spooktacular, and at the same time, it's our 10th anniversary. So we
Right.
will be having special 10th anniversary shows, special spooktacular shows, and in November, we like to do Noir November. See, Noir November.
Cool.
And Paul's going to be all in part of that because you know we have our little friend who is all noir, and maybe you'll hear like a nice little voiceover stuff coming.
Oh, that'd be awesome! I tell you, here's some voiceover stuff. I'll be pleased as punch.
Oh my God. That's one of the things I've been doing this week is I'm busy because I got to do the stuff for Cold Cutter, and I have to do the stuff for Paul. Cold Cutter Kickstarter kicks off soon, so he needs the voiceover for his Kickstarter video.
And what's he doing?
Huh?
What's he doing?
What, his comic?
Yeah, so you have a comic out or something?
Oh yeah, Cold Cutter.
Okay.
Cold Cutter is
I'm
his
not familiar
book,
with it.
which is all noir detective. You know,
Oh,
it's
cool.
a nice detective book. And folks, you know what? Now that he said that, I will
Can you
go
pull it
over
up and possibly put the link in the chat? That'd be awesome.
Exactly. I'm going to go post and look for it because you know it's what we do.
You need a social media assistant to do all the links for
Charles, dude, I wish we had like an editor behind the scenes guy. Oh my God, that would be fantastic. Either that or somebody else can do all the talking and I can be behind the scenes going. Doo, 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 doo. So it's Charles W. Morgan. His book is Cold Cutter. It is about a badass detective doing his thing. This book is fantastic. This is all for the 5th issue, which is the last issue in the series that he's been working on. Dude, look at these beautiful covers.
That's awesome. Look at that.
Dude, he's been sending me these covers, and I'm like, oh my God.
That's really cool.
And I think he went all out for this 5th. And here's the art he does is amazing.
That's awesome.
There's Charles himself.
Does he have a preview on the Kickstarter yet or no?
I think he has the no preview link. That's why he needs my stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he needs my stuff so he can do all the beautiful stuff that he needs to do. Charles, amazing guy. His book is just amazing. Folks, you know, look at this. I know I'm a noir detective guy, but you know, dude, look at this stuff.
It's awesome.
It's fantastic books, folks. It's a great story. You should go check it out. You like your detective stories, then you'll like some Cold Cutter. You know what I'll do for you guys? I'll do exactly what Paul said, and I will put the link in the chat. Of course, if my freaking computer works with me on this.
So this is the 5th. This is the last issue. Then that's all he's doing is 5 issues.
There's been talk about more stuff, but this will be the end of this arc of the story.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he will be on the show in October. Yeah.
Awesome.
Or no November.
I look forward to meeting him. It'd be great.
Oh, he's a great guy. I love having him on the show. There you go, folks. Go check him out. Charles W. Morgan. He is on Facebook, Instagram, go all the good stuff. Go check him out. He's a great guy. And as soon as he puts this up, make sure to sign up to get notified because it's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him. Be awesome. Very cool.
Oh yeah, like I said, folks, September's been a really busy month, and I just can't catch the tail of whatever I'm supposed to be doing. Oh man, but you've been busy as hell as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we a lot of things are going on right now all at once, and I just trying to focus on one thing to get something done. So I'm pretty excited. We're actually going to be exhibiting at EdTech Expo in mid-October. It's actually at Columbia University for 3 days. The first day they have exhibitors like myself that are positioning for venture capitalists or investors, or to try and get traction into their projects. So I'm pretty excited about that. And the lead up to it, I'm actually developing two main components for my education program associated with time enforcers. And basically, there's going to be an instructor manual, and then there's going to be a mission packet for kids. And I'll have finished versions in the next few episodes that I can show off. But it's really cool. It's so close to getting done for those two things. But those are going to be the backbone for what I'm going to be pitching at this convention, as well as the NJEA conference in November. And so these are all education people. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think, a lot of attention is focused on STEM, which is cool. I mean, mathematics and, engineering are all important, but I think social sciences tend to get left out. And so I think, providing a gamified way for kids to learn about history is going to want to make them get more involved in it. Because let's face it, the more research I do with this project, the more I see how integrated STEM is with social sciences.
Yeah.
I think that's why, one thing that I find fascinating is, looking at just the initial characters I found for the game. C.T. Huygens, who I dress up as and cosplay all the time, is actually based on Christian Huygens, the Dutch physicist, engineer, and astronomer from the 18th century. He actually invented the pendulum. So it's just like, delving into the past really gives us a perspective on the future, because, it's just not people who had civil rights experience or discovered a certain, technique of, like Thomas Edison inventing a light bulb, or Alexander Graham Bell inventing the telephone. There are so many scientists beyond that had such an impact, in really forming our society as it is today. And I think it's really important that people know that. You got to have some sort of basis to draw from in terms of determining, conclusions and observations about what's happening in the world around us today. So,
I got to say, I think it's really important, and I think, folks, you need to realize that people don't want you to know history. They don't want you to know the past. They don't want you to know things. So make sure you know things, because if they don't want you to know things, there's a reason why they don't want you to know things.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you look at just to spin off that, you look at the Dark Ages, right? I mean, the Catholic Church purposely kept people ignorant because they knew if they weren't smart enough, they didn't know whether to rebel or not, because they were just being told what to do. So if you want independent thought, you want critical thinking, I think the social sciences really developed that idea, and that's really how we're developing time enforcers. It's all built on what we call UDL, which is Universal Design for Learning. So it's really encompassing an inclusion and diversity platform. So basically, anyone of any learning level can come in and get something from this messaging and really take away some important information. We want to be able to reach out to a broad base of learners and allow them the opportunity to want to explore more. And that's really the goal of what we're looking to do.
Dude, this is beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean, I met what's his Denzel at where was it? It was at Bronx. No, it was at Trificon. I met Denzel at Trificon. I have to feature him on how to draw, but I've got about 15 artists that I haven't done yet.
Yeah, this looks fantastic.
It's amazing, though. It's really cool. He did Kaizen. It's just really totally awesome.
Man, look, you're even happy here when you got it.
I'm always happy. Cannot be happy with stuff. I mean, I have artists producing artwork for me. It's just incredible. It's really cool stuff.
I gotta say, I appreciate you, because you are one of those people that go into the indie scene, and you get all these artists. You're in at the same time that you're building your brand, you're helping out all these people.
Yeah, I really, I come from the standpoint, and like you said, Raphael, it's like rising tides raise all ships, and I really feel that there's a large community out there of creators that just aren't getting enough notice, and they're so talented. And why not, help out and really start to promote them? And I did this video for Nicole Falk, and she was a great portrait of Amelia Earhart for us, and I love it. And just got some decent traction in terms of views, so I was pretty excited for her. So
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
did
the
a
piece
great
was
job with it.
amazing.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's funny. I just say, they say, do you want it styled anyway? And I spoke to Alexandra Bowman about this. I said, I'm asking you because I want to see how you want to style it. I really
Yeah.
don't want any input, It's really, your interpretation. And she did a great caricature of C.T. Haugens. I love it. And it's another one I have to feature. It's so much fun to see, people's different interpretations of these characters. Francis Bonnet, who does the Archie and the suburban fairy tales, he did a piece as well, and it was really cool. He had a lot of fun with it. So I just, like I said, the how to draw Time Force's character, I came up with that, I think, because I was originally commissioning artists, to do this, but then I thought, why not feature them as well? Because I'm finding, like, I actually had one artist, Angel Concepcion. I see him all the time at Dewey's Comic City because he works there. He went to Joe Kubert School, and I think he's actually an instructor there as well. I'm trying to parse out as much work as I can, but I think he might be doing a mural type of effect where you've got the good guy bad guy mashup, like good guys on one side, bad guys on the other, but it'll be my characters. So I was going to ask him to do that as like a 9x12. Then I would feature that as a piece of art in the game for the profile section,
right?
And then hopefully convert it into a poster that I can use to help fund, like the Kickstarter that we have going now through Fractured Atlas. Have that as an incentive to people to donate money, and then give them a poster of that, which I think would be really cool. That's Angel there. He did a great job with the Inquisitor. It was really cool. It was all black and white, but what he would be doing first would be in color.
So, psychedelic, man. Psychedelic.
Yeah, I love it. So
you gotta love the psychedelic. I already think this guy is kind of psychedelic. So
yeah. I'd love to get Chris Mad to do something as well. I mean, his interpretation of Nick was just incredible. It was so funny because he originally done one, he didn't like it, and he actually turned it into
the spirit,
right?
Great, yeah.
I had to buy it off him.
Yeah, I love your logic. It's like, well, I don't want anybody else having this.
Exactly.
But that spirit came out really good, though.
Yeah, it was beautiful. But his interpretation of Nick was great too. I said I want to see a different perspective on it, and like he put him like in this really dramatic pose. It was so cool, really cool. So.
Oh, definitely. Let's see. I think Chris might have something on his.
His stuff's just amazing. Hey, he and Will Torres, man. I mean, they just blow my mind.
Oh, he did a great one of Amelia as well, right?
Yeah, he did Nick. Yeah, Will did Nick as well. So
Will did?
Yeah, Will did Nick. Yeah, he actually, I saw him at was it the last con we did it in Long Island? It wasn't. It wasn't Cradle. It was the one after Eternal Con. He was at Eternal. And then I saw him there with his wife, and he did that sketch like in 20 minutes. It was incredible. It was just beautiful. It was all black and white.
There goes the spirit.
That's a piece from Chris, which was great. That's the spirit that he did.
Yeah, he did a good job with that.
That was great. Yeah, I had to steal that.
It's amazing to hit a little turn, and it changes it into something else.
Yeah, believe me, I'd like to feature more artists in the game, just so that I think it diversifies the artwork some more.
Right.
I mean, it'd be great if I could just do all one style, but I don't have an art department to do that. And I think if I could feature other artists in terms of, having that, then it really makes the game even more, I think, dimensional. One of the episodes I thought of doing was the Ozzy Osbourne was amazing. He did the purple glasses too. Did you get that one?
Oh my God. Yeah, he added the purple.
That was amazing, right?
Oh. And of course, I love his Ghost Riders.
Yeah, the Ghost Riders are incredible. He's a cool guy. I like Chris a lot. Just seemed really laid back,
Yeah, And of course, he was working with one of our friends on a special comic cover right here. Ah, you got a good eye for art, I have to say.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, one of the one episode I wanted to do was going to focus on Japan again.
Hmm.
And if you're familiar with Hosukai, he did the Great Wave, that really cool wave
Yeah,
from Japanese artwork. I was going to do the whole episode in that type of artwork. That'd be really wild.
that'd
So
be
I have
really
like all the
wild. Yeah,
characters look like Japanese, drawings and paintings, that are done on the display screens, which is really cool. So I thought that could be fun. But that's really what I like about this project. It's just I can take an idea and just run with it and not have to worry about being beholden to some sort of preconceived roadblock or guardrail. I mean, I think the point is you really want to provide kids, pretty much anyone, an opportunity to think about and be exposed to different things, and it's just not all the same thing over and over again. So that's what I like about this project. It's just the wealth of information that's available to draw from, and then to interpret it is just it's just mind blowing to me. I just can't get enough time to do it. That's my problem. So
and it's like I've told you before, it's like you have it's history is such a wealth of things. People think history is such a very narrow thing, but they forget that it's history is all history.
yeah,
It's music history, it's comic history, it is so many different things.
yeah. I mean, I just read a great graphic novel on Will Eisner, and I didn't know Jack Kirby, a couple other artists were in his studio in the 40s. They actually started there before they went off to do like Marvel and everything. And Eisner was just a genius. I mean, he not only, brought the whole idea of bringing normal people into the comic strips, pretty much was all like superheroes before, but he really wanted to focus on, individuals, everyday people. And he was almost dead set against the whole superhero, shtick. He didn't really like it. But not only that, but he also developed the first graphic novel. I mean, he was the first guy to do that, which was incredible, So, it's just it fascinated me to read his backstory. But he could definitely be, a character in Time Enforcers. I mean, he was so influential in the whole development of the comic genre, with the whole spirit and everything else. So,
As I tell people all the time, even as a writer, I think it's important to pick up his book on sequential, because it kind of really helps you, especially if you want to be a comic book writer, really see how comic books come to be.
yeah. Yeah, even what Joshua was saying on the show on Monday, I mean, he was saying how different writing styles really pertain to the media it's being applied to. You can't have one set script and have it work in every type of media. It just doesn't work that way, So,
Yeah. It, and I find that, like, especially from what he was saying, I find that it is important to have your foot into many different places, especially when you're writing, because it kind of helps you out,
yeah.
especially to get your writing going, to get your writing flowing.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I've done, I can't say that I'm a writer. I mean, I've gotten good at writing,
You're a writer.
but it's just like, I look at episode 1 and I really had a fun time with it because I came from a comic background. I knew, pretty much how panels worked, and I purposely designed the game to be that way. Like one of the movies that I really found really cool when it first came out was the first Incredible Hulk, and they actually was like the first movie to show comic panels in live motion. So at one point, the Hulk was, there was it Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt Ross was getting ready to battle the Hulk, and they had like 3 panels come on the screen showing like a helicopter here and like the Hulk bouncing someplace over there, and then Ross speaking. I hit my son in the elbow. I said, "Paul, check this out. It's a comic book in a movie. It's so freaking cool." It was just amazing. It's just
I don't think that first movie gets a lot of credit.
No, it had to be one of the best Hulk movies I saw in a long time. It was really neat.
I think people look at things, and we talk about this all the time on the show. We fan go crazy, if you want to call it something, and we kind of, instead of liking things, we knock things down.
Yeah.
You know, we look at it and we go, it could have been better. I'm like, dude, looking for you need to call them out. You know, I agree, but at the same time, we don't need to destroy this stuff.
Yeah, you can
I don't think they understand that if we destroy it, they will stop making it.
Now, the way I look at it, I mean, any kind of reaction, positive or negative, is constructive. You know, if someone's just going to beat on you being negative, I'm just going to take that as constructive criticism and say, how can I prove this? I mean, you know, my first game that I put out, first attempt I ever did at programming, you know, pulling us all together, getting it on 5 different platforms, which is unheard of. I mean, most people just put it on one platform. I did it on 5, you know, between mobile phones, tablets, Mac, PC, Windows, and Android. I mean, you know, it was a lot, but I was glad I did it. And I know it could be better, but, you know, that's what episode 2 is going to be for. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in terms of what's happening in my programming and how I can make things more efficient, more tied together, and then make it a better experience for the player. You know, so that's, you learn from everything you do. And that's why I think, you know, people do play this game, episode 1. I really want to hear their feedback, good or bad, because I really want to know how I can improve episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down the road. You know, I love it. I love what I'm doing. I just, you know, want to be able to make it as best as I can. So.
And that's what's important, and that's what we support, and that's why I like you. You support people. You know, you see where they're going, and you give them that incentive to continue going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what we all need, folks. So, you know, criticism is not bad. It just needs to be constructive.
Yeah, I think, you know, it kind of hurts too, you know, if someone criticizes your work if you put so much effort into it. But I think you have to take it, you know, as almost like a grain of salt, because there's so much out there now. I mean, you know, you don't know how many people were behind what one product looks like or another. I mean, that's inconsequential because the product's out there and you're being judged against everyone else. And so it's like, okay, so I'm not the best, but I'm definitely not the worst. And how can I improve? You know, and just go from there.
Yeah.
You know? So.
And the last thing you want to do is stop somebody from continuing to move forward. And that stops everybody. It stops the progress of everything. You know, that means that your fandom is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay stuck where it is. And I keep telling people, you know, the more you destroy something, the more somebody else is going to go, well, we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they'll stop making the movies. And they're like, Ralph, they won't stop making the movies. There's money there. I'm like, yeah, but then sooner or later, there won't be money there.
Yeah.
And they'll stop making the movies.
Yeah, I mean, the comic book industry for a long, long time ran into that. I mean, they were just doing the same thing over and over again. I think it's kind of happening now, which is unfortunate, which is why I like the indie scene, because I go to the store now and I look at the big names and I just shake my head. It looks like all the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's why I'm looking more at the indie comics, because it's different storylines, it's different characters, you know, and this is the stuff I want to explore more and find out more and just, you know, get a different take. I mean, I looked at the shelf today because it's new comic book day. It's Wednesday, right? They had like maybe 5 titles of Spider-Man. It's like Spider-Boy. It's just like, are you kidding me?
5 titles of Spider-Man, 5 titles of Batman, 5 titles of Superman.
I know. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, you're almost doing things to death. It's like, why can't you put the effort into developing new characters as opposed to like, you know, just trying to recreate the old ones the same way, you know? So.
But you know what it is that they want to make the sure money.
Yeah, I can understand. It's a big prospect. I mean, you know, printing, getting artists to do this, you want to be kind of assured of a profit in the end. But, you know, I think what I'm seeing now in the comic book industry, I saw like in the early 90s, you know, and it was like comic books were dying. And it wasn't until they actually did a big turnaround, like by like 1995, that things really started to make a big turn. And by early 2000, I mean, it was hot. Comics were hot again, you know, but I think they were just kind of resting on their laurels again in the, you know, late 80s, early 90s. And that's when things weren't that great. You know, it wasn't worth buying a book, you know.
Because they had that whole crash of the 90s because, you know, it was funny because they made it all about the money. And that's what Hollywood's doing now. The comic books are doing now. Everybody's doing that. They're making it all about the money. And I understand you need to make money, But at the same time, this is an art industry. You
Yep.
need to create the art and showcase new stuff coming up. If you do the same thing over and over and over, you're gonna run out of an audience because I like the fact that they're constantly looking at our generation who buys the books, going, "Oh, you should keep buying the books." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're not writing for my generation anymore.
Right.
You're writing for the other generation. They need to buy the books, but you are so set on our money that you want us to keep buying the books so that they can enjoy it." And I'm like, dude, if I'm not gonna like it, why should I buy the book?
And the thing is, too, they're pricing themselves out of the business. I mean,
Oh, definitely.
$6 a book. I
Hmm.
mean, I used to be able to get 10 books for, $2,
Yeah.
easily, and now it's like I'll maybe buy one because I don't know, it's $6 and, I'll probably read it for 15 minutes and I'm done with it. It's not a great investment for me anymore. It's really not,
Yeah, the only thing that seems to be, and it's not all old books, but they have a lot of dollar bin books, and you get that's where you get your money's worth.
Right. You go back to the old titles, which
Yeah,
is probably where the stories are better and the artwork's more interesting in some way. And, not disparaging the new artists in any way. It's just not my point. But, I just think that, you want to try to break the mold a little bit and really think, I have a feeling the tide is going to break now because it's just getting too repetitive. I think people are just going to stop buying, issue number one. That's issue number one, a month ago. And, it's just they keep, putting issue one and everything, even though the issue is actually 350.
but that goes back to what we were saying earlier. They want to make that money, that sure money, and they know
Yeah,
that number ones make you that sure money.
yeah. Even though it's legendary or however they frame it, issue
Exactly.
351. It's like, okay, what number is it then? So
Here's number one again.
yeah. Was it number one in December or number one in March?
Exactly.
What number one it was?
And I think that's what makes it worse too, because they say it makes it easier for you to pick up the book. But what happens, with the other series that you just finish reading? You have to start giving them names like this is the '95 run or the 2010 run.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. I was just in the store today, like I said, and I was thumbing through. Well, it was the Death of the Silver Surfer, and kind of said, okay, I wasn't that interested, but I saw that they were advertising. I think it's Amazing Spider-Man Torment or Torrent. I can't remember what it is, but it's
Mhm.
coming out in November. And the reason why I'll buy it is because Michael Straczynski is writing it. So that's why I'm buying it, because I know his stories are great. It's kind of like a Greg Schneider, or a Chris Claremont. I mean, I know it's going to be something interesting.
That seems to be what they're doing now. Is like either, which is funny because they ran away from it before because they hated the fact that it was about the writers and the artists that were making the books, and they didn't want it to be about that. But now that they have to go back to it.
Yep. Yep.
That was a perfect run for Silver Surfer. Jesse, how you doing? Oh man, I gotta say, I was raised in all these books, and I saw the crash in the '90s, and that's when they got greedy. And I understand that you need to make money, but at the same time, this is art, and art needs to be developed.
Yep.
And if you don't sit there and develop the new stuff, then you're gonna be doing all the same stuff.
Yep.
He says, "I miss you guys. I'll be back next week." Jesse, he's been busy as well. He's been going from store to store.
There you go.
A lot of those Jersey stores he's been hitting. He wasn't even at what was the last thing he did recently? It was you know what? I can show you guys. It's the good thing about being
I
on
think it was on his Instagram, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just earlier.
Jesse Judy.
Yeah, he did a post a couple days ago. I can't remember what show he's at though. Come on, Jesse, put it in the chat. Save me, please.
Oops, wrong one. Hey. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, this is Jesse Judy's Instagram. It's always there. He goes. This is him at Dungeon Books. There you go. That's where he was.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where it was, but I saw it come through my feed.
Yeah, he was in Downtown Festival at Jersey City.
Yep.
And folks, you guys go check him out. His book is fantastic. This is the one that caught me by surprise. This one was in a barber shop, and I was like, what? I was like, oh, now we're doing conventions in interesting places.
That's so funny.
Oh my god, yeah, it's always great to see what he's up to. Yeah, see, here we go. Oh, see,
Yep.
dude, I gotta say this was really interesting. When he's on the show, I'm gonna have to ask him about this because how do you do a thing at a barbershop? Okay, folks, in case you're wondering, let us show off some of this beautiful book. This is Ashes of Eden. It's a love story. It's a love of comic books, video games, and so much more. This is when he was on the Kickstarter recently. And folks, if you missed it, you missed some good stuff. But hey, the good thing about what we do is that we can go catch him wherever he is. Like over here, he was Anitomo. And then you saw that barbershop over here. And he's been busy going through all of Jersey, making sure that people see his book.
Well, he had a successful Kickstarter for Ashes of Eden 2. And I'm waiting for my lenticular cover to come through because, man, I want to see that one so bad. And it's just like I can't wait for issue 2 to come out. It's really cool.
Look, he says that the barbershop is next week, October 3rd. There you have it, folks. It hasn't even happened yet. So if you're interested in what happens at this barbershop, October 3rd, there you go. Go get it.
Shave and a cut, 2 bits, right?
Exactly. On a mini book tour. See, on a mini book tour through Jersey City, New York City, and beyond.
Good for you, man. Good luck with that. You deserve it.
Jesse, are you going to be at New York Comic Con? I know we're going to be there, so we might have to do a meetup if you're going to be there. Let us know. See, folks, it's always fun on this show. I got to say, as you can see, Paul, I enjoy all this behind-the-scenes stuff. And I love when you guys are talking and I can do it without having to do all the crazy stuff and do this talking what I'm doing now, so I can go find what I need to go.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, you know what, Paul? We should show off the little bit of video that you were showing off.
I can do that. Yeah, I was gonna try and refine it, but what the heck? It's just a demo tape anyway. So let me just share this really quick.
Well, the good thing is that right now you can actually talk over it and tell the people what it is, and it also gives them an idea of what you're looking at. Because this is the same thing. Like I was telling you in the green room, it's the same thing that you do when you're on the show. It's just that it's easier to do because it's one video.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really cool. I mean, this is a work in progress. So, as everyone knows, following my account on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, I'm working on episode 2. It's called Flying into the Chronostorm. It's going to be featuring Amelia Earhart. And this is the splash page for the video game. And it's just a video that runs through, so I'll just start playing it. And basically, when you see things light up, that's me with the mouse clicking the buttons. So it starts the game. This comes into the main menu, where you're going to have options to select either the upgrade store or actually play the arcade. And we're going to have a monetizing element to this where you can actually upgrade the plane. So I really want to make this. I'll just stop it for a second. Let me just go back. I'll control it. Here we go. So basically, what you'll have is the ability to do in-app purchases and upgrade the plane, so you can increase the shield, you can increase the health, and you'll be able to increase the weapon power. And the arcade level, I'm planning on having at least 50 levels to launch on the initial rollout, and then I'll keep adding levels as I go through, and keep increasing the amount of levels. So it'll probably go to 100 levels. But as you go up in the levels, it becomes more difficult, and so you have to, pay to upgrade your plane in order to get by the harder bosses, the harder minions. And so, so monetizing, I think, is going to be really cool. I haven't done it yet, but I'm laying the groundwork to do it, and it looks like it's going pretty well together. We actually have flight tokens. You can see them down here at the bottom. And then there's also what I call a flight voucher. So you need a voucher to, play the arcade level. So you need 5 vouchers to play. You get like 10, actually 20 vouchers a day automatically. So you can play the game without paying anything, but you have to play in stages, like over a course of time. So it's kind of cool. And then let's just go over here to this is the main menu again. So we're going to have the ability to launch the comic book adventure, which is this top button up here. And then I'll have a game manual and then player settings, which is kind of cool. I'll show you when I get to the video game, what I'm talking about with that. But and then we have a learn more section where that's going to include all the references that I'm using for the game. So anything about Amelia Earhart or Togo or Nico Time with related to film noir, because he was inspired by that, is going to be stored here. And then we'll be providing more information to in terms of background and also, future enhancements for episode 3, which I'm pretty excited about. But when you come in and click the top button here for the comic book adventure, just skip over really quick, you're going to come to the table of contents. And what's cool about this is this table of contents is going to be dynamic. When you first start it, you'll probably see 2 buttons. As you play through the game, the buttons will then start to appear. So once you visit, say, the GST control room scene, this button will come up and you'll be able to see it. Or if you go to the background in Kansas, which is the scene following, you'll be able to see that button. So the whole point is to make this still a storybook, where if you don't want to play the whole game in one sitting, you can leave it and then come back and start where you left off. So that's pretty cool. And this functionality is working great. I just have it listed here so I can keep programming around it. But I click the battleground Kansas scene here, and it brings you into the whole airplane sequence. So this is Amelia's plane. You're flying in, and it's like Galaga. You're attacking the minions and everything. But what's really cool, getting back to the user interface, and what I found playing games of this type, it's very right-handedness, meaning that you have all the button controls on the left, and you have to use your right hand to move the plane or the character around. The way I've programmed this is you can be right-handed or left-handed. So in this case, I have a left-handed player, right? I'll be able to use my left finger to move the plane because this is all touch control, and then have my right hand available to press the buttons for loop-de-loops and the barrel rolls and the firing the heavy weapons and such. So I thought it was really important to me because I really will make this accessible to everyone. And being left-handed, I find it very frustrating that I live in a right-handed world. So.
Yeah, I gotta say, when it comes to all the stuff, you guys get the shits of it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Yeah, and then the Chronoton, which I had to redesign because episode 1 was, in a landscape format. I made it very much like a cinematography experience, right? So very much, 1920 by 1080, right? So it's very rectangular landscape. But if it's Galaga, it's got to be in portrait. So I figured, okay, I got to redesign the Chronoton now so it fits into a portrait format, which is what I did here. And so, the keyboard works, so you can type in numbers to go to the year you need to go to. That's very similar to episode 1, right? And then, but we have also expanded up the profile scene. And I'll just start this so you can see. I click the profile button here, and this screen here is still being worked on, but you'll have a listing of all the characters that are currently in the game. So like H.G. Wells, Professor Haugens, Amelia Earhart. Okay, and then if you click on a profile, like you're going to click on Nico Time, you're going to get the background on Nick. So what's going to happen here, I'll just stop it. When I get a voiceover from someone who's supposed to provide a voiceover to me for Nico
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either, but when I get that voiceover, I'm going to have like a karaoke effect because I really want to make this, according to UDL, Universal Design for Learning, you want to be able to have players read this without having to read it. So as the voiceover is happening, this will be a karaoke effect where the words will start to highlight as it's being read through. So that way you can actually see the words being read to you so you don't have to read them themselves. So that's going to be really cool for me because that really makes the game even more accessible to players, especially younger kids, or people who, have a hard time following, the screen because maybe the type's too small for whatever reason. So I really want to make that as part of this, process as much as I can. And then, so this is like Nick's profile, just to give you a sense. I click out, and then I go to Amelia, and this is her profile. And you can see it has like the very retro Fallout type of appearance where you get the resolution lines and like the flickering screen. So I thought that was kind of fun. So I'm having a lot more fun with this version. I'm actually able to do more than I did in episode 1. And I just want to keep improving the whole experience, which is really my goal. So.
Love it, love it, love it. I love what you're going. I love where you're coming from. I love what you're doing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just not enough time.
Jesse's like, God, this looks good, Professor.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Jesse. Really do. That
Jesse's
heart-
also like still in on the NYCC waiting list, purgatory. Is there a way to wiggle in with you guys? I'll see what I can do. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I'll be playing
I'll
another
work
ticket.
it out and see where it can happen. You know, maybe we'll get lucky. Yeah, I love all that work you've been doing. It
Thanks.
really showcases, and I think one of the good things is that you can actually see, you know, and I've told you this before, the passion that you have for the project come just oozing out.
Yeah, I mean, my wife goes, "You're going to retire soon, right?" I said, "I don't know. I'm having way too much fun with this."
I gotta say, yeah, it's work, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just like, what's sleep? I mean, 6 hours I'm good. 5 with my dog because she wakes me up. So I don't know what can I say.
We all gotta sleep sometime. Yeah, folks will sleep later on. Yeah. Get a lot of sleep when you're dead.
Exactly. No, but I'm really excited about episode 2. I think, especially with the arcade level, because one of the comments I got from an avid fan who is not to be mentioned on this show was, Professor, why didn't you do an arcade level? So I'm taking that to heart, Raphael. I'm doing an arcade level now.
It makes sense because sometimes people just want to mess around with their game.
Exactly.
I want to mess around with my game. I just want to play. I want to play. I want to get the score.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to. One of the this is no secret, but one of the enhancements I want to make. I think I'm sure everyone's familiar with Pokemon Go, right? And you have the ability to play anywhere in the world and interact with players from around the world, pretty much. Through the battle gyms and everything. One of the things I'm looking to do, and if I can secure some funding from like the National Endowments for the Humanities, is to make what I call history all around us. And what it's going to be, it's going to include GPS, very similar to Pokemon Go, but it's also going to include um, uh, augmented and virtual reality. So what'll happen is, much like Pokemon Go, where you go and battle a gym at a certain spot, my intention is to locate different spots in the area that are historic, and it can be anything. It can be like Yosemite National Park. So maybe you go to Yosemite and learn about the park, but then all of a sudden Ansel Adams shows up, and he's got his photography going. And it could be like there's an incursion of Chronolith happening, and he's trying to battle these evil enemies of Chronolith, and it's Ansel Adams doing this, right? But just in New Jersey alone, there are so many historic sites, and being able to have kids realize how impactful history is just in the area where they live, I think is really important. And so you get into these different sites, and you'll be able to see what happened at this site, but also take place in a battle. And that's where the augmented reality and virtual reality comes into play, where you have like a battle scene going on. It could be like a revolutionary battle. And so you go in and fight with, in my case, George Washington, who just slept down the street from me at Washington headquarters, and maybe I interact with George Washington, and talk to him about how he devised a way to stop the British from coming across the Hudson, so we can, curtail any kind of invasion they're trying to attempt. So it's really that type of experience that I'm looking to do with this, and really play it out and make it even more engaging, more interactive. I think that will be a goal. If I can achieve that, I'll be like totally, I'll be so happy, because not only are you talking like, playing a game on your phone, but you're talking about playing a game anywhere on your phone and getting a different game every time you play it, which is really cool.
I gotta say, we've talked about this a couple times, and I love it every time because history is everywhere, and what better way to prove history is everywhere than to showing it off.
Yeah, and that Ralph's got the Fractured Atlas fundraising page on the screen. Basically, I came across Fractured Atlas, and they're a nonprofit organization, and they've been in business for well over 50 years, assisting artists, both visual and performing, in terms of raising money for their endeavors. And they're actually a 501c, but the way you work with Fractured Atlas, I go in as a fiscal sponsor with them, and then I use them as my fundraising arm. So basically, they are able to accept donations from contributors through their organization, pass the money to me so that I can use it as a way to develop my platform even further. With that donation people make, it's fully tax deductible. So if you make a cash donation of $10, you can take $10 off your taxes in 2026. Okay, and then I have other things on there, very much like a Kickstarter, where if you do different levels, for a certain amount of money, you can get a baseball cap, you can get a T-shirt, you can get a signed poster, all that kind of good stuff. And then the more money you contribute, the bigger the prizes are. But the whole point is, I have to make $1,000 goal with Fractured Atlas first through this portal. Once I hit that $1,000 goal, then I can use them as a way to go to the National Endowment for the Humanities and position myself as a contributor, or actually a creator that can actually get money from the NEH to expand and do even more projects. And that's they're sizable chunks of money, but with the NEH, you have to be a nonprofit to do that. I'm not a nonprofit, but if I can go in through Fractured Atlas, then I can go to the NEH and actually get some funding that way, which is really cool. So,
at the rate you're going, you'll be nonprofit.
Yeah, I mean, tell me about it. There'll be no other choice. But yeah, the whole point is, once I make the $1,000 goal with them, then I can go on and then pursue much bigger gains, through these grants, which would be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know we've been talking about this a lot, and what you need is a good team to help you out, because it's a lot of work for you, just you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get people on board with this. Like, that's one thing I love about the whole, how would you draw a Time Enforcers character, which I have to tap Jesse on, because that, forgive me for not doing that, but I really want to get Jesse to do his interpretation of my characters as well. That'd be awesome.
I think it's funny because Jesse does some great art, and he does good video game stuff, so
yeah,
it should be interesting to see where he'll go with it.
That's the whole point of this, is I want to see how people interpret what I've created, and I really want to see their interpretation of it, because I really like seeing different interpretations of what people have to offer. It's really cool. It's cool stuff.
And that's the beauty about this industry we're in is we see so much. There's so much out there. There's so many creatives, so many beautiful people doing beautiful stuff.
Yep.
Folks, if you support the indies, you want to. These guys are doing amazing work, and if you're looking for comic books that fit you more, then these are the people to looking for, because these comics are everywhere. They cover everything: horror, superhero. They cover so much and stuff that we don't see. So it's always great to check out the indie creators.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse's take on Ashes of Eden, I got issue 1. I loved it. I can't wait for issue 2. It's just, getting introduced to new characters and, just seeing what is being presented is just, really so cool. I just, and I looked at what Joshua was having, offering with Time Sensitive and what he's doing. And he had such a dynamic background with his video game development, but it's just really cool to see, that take on time travel is just, it was really neat. And I'm looking forward to seeing that book come out, because I backed that one as well, which I'm excited about. I think it's going to be really cool.
Of course, Joshua was here Monday, and his book was nearing the first stretch goal, and now he is past the first stretch goal and heading towards the second stretch goal. Look at that, folks. He's at 27,892.
Yeah, I can't divulge, but I got a level where I got a bunch of Christmas gifts going on. I'm pretty excited.
That's the best way to do it, folks. I tell people all the time, man, you want Christmas gifts that nobody's gonna see coming. It's here in the Kickstarters.
I tell you, I went to Anime NYC. I was downstairs in the video game parlor, which was amazing. I picked up 2 role-playing games. I said, "Oh, this is Christmas. This is great. My kids will love it."
Oh my god!
They kind of had adults.
Dude, it was fantastic really cool down there. Yeah,
it was awesome. Having way too much fun.
So, folks, I am putting Time Sensitive into the comment section there, so you guys can go check it out. It is fantastic. You know what? I will let the video talk for itself and give me and Paul a break. Hold on a second.
Hey, I'm Joshua Rubin. You might not know my name, but you probably know some of the characters I've helped bring to life, like Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2.
Leonardo, I think you just found your madman.
And Clementine in Telltale's Walking Dead.
Still not bitten.
I have been lucky to work on some of the biggest games out there, but I've got so many more worlds I've been building. And I'll tell you, once you start getting gray hairs in your beard, you realize life is too short for anything but yes projects. And I have always loved comic books. So last year, I pulled the trigger and founded Strangeland Comics, a home for high-concept, mind-bending, brain-candy sci-fi. And today, I am beyond excited to release issue number 1 of our flagship title, an existential time-travel love story thriller with stunning art by award-winning Portuguese artist Jorge Quill. Are you ready? This is Time Sensitive. I am so excited for you to open the pages of Time Sensitive for the first time. Issue 1 is already complete and it is ready to print. And George has already begun drawing issue 2. This is only the beginning of a much larger world. Honestly, it means so much that you're here. Launching an indie comic book label today, it takes a whole community. And thanks to you, Strangeland Comics is just getting started.
I wanted to add that in because he talked about all the stuff we've been talking about today. And if folks, that is a great book. Go check it out. It is fantastic, and it's funded. It is more than funded. He is at a great,
deservedly so.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
And he has such great tiers and stuff on it. Go check it out, folks. And of course, this weekend, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it, but the idea is to go get Magical Girl. Our friend Manny will be there for Magical Girl, and it is at Industry City in Japan Village. And we love Industry City and Japan Village because they do some great stuff in there, and it's a great location. And you have it, folks. Magical Girl, Japan Village, September 27th. 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., folks. Who doesn't want to go check out some magical girls? It's funny because I swear I saw her do a video today that explained the whole thing. Is this it?
Hello. I don't know why Magical Girls Fest doesn't let me go live.
Oh, no, that's just talking about Magical Girl. But, folks, go check it out. I could swear I saw a video. And of course, Manny, our pal, will be there showing off his books. And he is an amazing guy as well. Let's see. Is he right here? I think he's right. Yeah, there he is, Manny. All right, I can show this to you guys. And there we go. Yep, there you go. Manny will be at the Magical Girls, being a vendor, doing his beautiful stuff, showing off his hard-worked book that he's made. Talk about indie creator. This guy's been at it for a long time, folks. Go check out. Go say hi to Manny. Tell him you saw us talk about him on Bit and Apple TV.
One of the nicest guys. I mean, he did a phenomenal job at Anitomo. It was really
Oh,
great.
he did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see him stop 1 minute. He was like, I never got so many bottles of water from any event as a vendor. I just was amazing. It was so good.
Oh my God! And of course, from what I'm reading here, he's also doing a panel. Yep, he's also doing a panel. You know, my panel is at 1:15, runs till 2 p.m. I'll be at the Japan Village cabin outside of Building 4. I'm also doing giveaways at the panel. Folks, you know, we're talking languages here. You know, who doesn't want to get a giveaway, a free
You can't have enough stuff. As far
There
as
we
I'm
go.
concerned.
Hanging out at Anime NYC. Now you know what he looks like, folks. And of course, you can see Roaming Tony there for like a second. Well, Roaming Tony was on Monday, so if you guys were on Monday, you saw him there too. So, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this a nice little gab fest between me and Paul, having fun, showing off all the beautiful stuff. Like, of course, the Wham stand, which, you know, I don't know if I showed you guys. It is for the wireless mic, and it makes you look all professional, like when you put everything in and put all the stuff in, and boom. And of course, nominate your favorite podcast, and maybe they'll get a chance to win this. And I am feeling giveawayable, so I will give away something to one of you lucky nominators who will be doing all the nominating. So you might have a chance to win something. Your podcast might have a chance to win something. People might have a chance to win something. Come on, folks. You know you want some Wham stand.
You're way too generous, Raphael. You're just too generous.
So Paul, one last time, where can they find you?
You can download the game from the app stores. If you have a problem finding it, you can go to timeenforcers.com/get. Episode 1 is available on the Mac, PC, Android, and iOS. So you can play it on your phone, your tablet, and your desktop. And then you can go to Fractured Atlas and make a donation to our cause. It's tax deductible. And if we get our $1,000 goal, then I'll be able to go out and start trying to scour for grants through the National Endowment for the Humanities, which would be awesome. So that'd be really cool.
You see what Jesse's saying? I'm literally ordering my first Wham stand set as we speak. It's so cool.
Darn it, Jesse, I was going to order one too. Now you're going to back me up.
Come on, man. You want a Wham stand.
I need a Wham stand. I need at least two
your
of them.
Whamblum. Your Whamblum. Your Wham.
I need at least 2 of them.
Folks, I'm having too much fun with Wham stand. If you guys make this a successful, beautiful giveaway, I will be giving a lot of stuff away, but it's all up to you.
I'm really, though, disappointed in the show to date so far, Ralph.
Why? What happened?
Well, you haven't posted a shameless plug yet, so I'm still waiting on that one.
Oh, my God. We want to do a shameless plug. Then
I need a shameless plug.
We got to do a shameless plug, of course. You know, we all know our pal Jorge is all ready to do his shameless plug. He will be releasing it in October. Yep, he will be releasing it in October. And he will be on the show, I think, the week after. Yeah, no. He will be on the show October 13th. And he will be hanging out with us, talking about all the beautiful stuff. And, of course, that is Indigenous People Day. So, you know, you guys can come on and hang out and see all about the shameless plug. See, folks, it's all worth that wait for the shameless plug.
I'm happy now. Thank you.
And, of course, I will put the shameless plugs link into the comment section. And we all know, like we say here all the time, folks, you go in, sign up to get notified, and it helps a project out. The more people are in the following of the project, the better place it starts the project off at. It's always great to get something to 100 followers. That is a great number right there, folks. He's at 52. Come on, you know, 48 more people. Come on.
You know, this is what I love about Kickstarter. Check it out. He's created 2 projects, but he's back 368. It's like,
oh yeah, Jorge.
My mind just blew.
Jorge is a backer. He backs some good stuff. And of course, folks, if you want Wonder Duck, and who doesn't want some Wonder Duck, you can get yourself Wonder Duck at your local comic book store through Filbo Filbo Distribution. Well, he is publishing too, but Filbo Distribution. Tell your local comic store you want your Wonder Duck from Jorge, and you can get it as well because it is now in stores ready to go.
Cool.
Yeah, or releasing soon. Just ask them for Wonder Duck, and they'll get it for you. Oh my God. Jorge Medina is a fantastic guy. He will be on the show soon talking all the beautiful stuff. Like I said, October 13th, he'll be on. And of course, it's Indigenous People Day. And I always do my favorite story on Indigenous People Day because I have a couple of those.
Can't wait to hear it.
One that's in this book right here. Because my story in this book is all Indigenous.
Very cool.
Folks, check it out because we suck at comics. Too much fun, folks. Too much fun. Paul, anything else?
No, I'm good. It's midnight. I think I'm tired.
Yeah, I think I'm losing my ability to use words or string words together. All right, folks.
Wait a minute. Son of Saint just came on, Raphael. You gotta.
Oh, Son of Saint. You know what, folks? Since we've been doing this all day, we're going to show you why we say a lot of beautiful things about the Son of Saint. Because
we're never leaving. We're going to be here till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, if people keep coming, yeah, folks, this is the Son of Saint. He is for hire. He does amazing stuff like book covers. Right now, he's working on a book cover with our pal Christina Garlic for her book Between Ghost and Kings. Amazing work. He just does beautiful work, folks. See, nice, beautiful,
so cool, beautiful.
If you're looking for something amazing, the Son of Saint is the guy to go to, and he can make you the hero as well. What are we ready for? He's showing off stuff again. Look at that. Dude, this guy works all the time. Look at this beautiful.
Too sweet.
Turtle. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Another Ozzy Osbourne. I love it.
And of course, there's the beautiful blade. Dude, my favorite stuff that we did with him was When Worlds Collide, where we were doing some stories of some verses.
I think I get Angel to do a version of Chronolith looking very evil like that Mephisto there. I think it'd be really cool.
Oh my God, I can't, dude. Speaking of Indigenous people, see, folks, everything just comes together. Oh my God. Oh, well, wait till you see this. Look at this.
Augmented reality. I love it.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, this guy works on everything. You want yourself a Son of Saint piece. You want him to do something for you guys. Yeah. This is why we love him so much. That's the Son of Saint right there. Yep, there he goes. The Son of Saint. Folks, go check him out. He's going, that was for the gallery. Yeah, I noticed. Because check's in the mail. We love you, Son of Saint. Folks, go check him out. He's an amazing guy. And now we can go, hey, it is time to end the show. And I'll do what we always do on this show. I'll press the button. And where it stops, nobody knows.